Welcome to StorySpree Studios. Get ready for a tale of mystery and suspense. Some doors should never be opened. But what if the door calls your name? Let the story begin. Some doors should never be opened. But what if the door calls your name? It was a cold, stormy night when Ethan Carter arrived at Harrington Manor, an old, abandoned mansion that stood at the edge of town like a forgotten relic of the past. The towering structure loomed over him, its cracked walls and broken windows whispering untold stories. Tonight, Ethan wasn't just visiting. He had inherited the house from a distant uncle he had never met. But something about the inheritance felt wrong. The moment he stepped inside, a rush of cold air wrapped around him like unseen fingers. The air smelled of damp wood, dust, and something else. Something rotten. Then, he saw it. A massive portrait hung in the center of the hallway. A tall man dressed in an old-fashioned black suit, his eyes piercing, almost alive. Ethan felt an odd shiver crawl up his spine. And then, he heard it. A whisper. 1 a.m., the mystery deepens at first, he thought it was the wind. But then, he heard it again, closer this time. Ethan? His breath hitched. He spun around. Nothing. His pulse quickened. Maybe it was just his imagination. Or maybe this house was playing tricks on him. He had heard the rumors, the townspeople whispered about strange occurrences, about people who entered this house but never left. He never believed in ghosts. But then, bang. A door upstairs slammed shut. Ethan's heart pounded. Someone else was here. 1:15 a.m. The locked room slowly, he climbed the grand staircase. Each step creaked beneath his weight. The long corridor above was lined with closed doors, except for one. At the very end, a single door stood slightly ajar, revealing nothing but darkness beyond. A chill ran down his spine. He approached cautiously, pushing it open. The room inside was covered in dust, furniture draped in white sheets. But one thing stood out. An identical portrait to the one downstairs. But this one was different. The man's eyes were missing. Ethan took a step back. What was going on? Then, something caught his eye, a folded letter wedged into the frame. His fingers trembled as he pulled it free. The paper was old, the ink faded. To whoever finds this, beware. The portrait is cursed. It watches. It waits. Do not. The rest was smudged, unreadable. Ethan swallowed hard. His gut told him to leave, but his curiosity wouldn't let him. And then, he heard it again. Ethan? Turn around. 1:30 a.m., the reflection his blood turned to ice. Every instinct screamed not to look. But he did. In the dusty mirror across the room, he saw his own reflection. But something was wrong. The painting behind him, the man was no longer in it. Ethan's breath hitched. Where did he go? A cold breath brushed against his neck. 1:45 a.m., the warning. Ethan spun around, heart hammering. The room was empty. He stumbled back toward the door. He needed to leave. Now. But as he turned, his eyes landed on the mirror again, and his reflection did not move. His chest tightened. His reflection just stood there, staring back at him, a sinister smile curling on its lips. Then, it whispered. You're not supposed to be here, Ethan. 2 a.m., the door slammed shut. The air grew heavy, suffocating. The walls seemed to close in. Then, a low voice echoed through the room. You have two choices. Ethan felt his body go rigid. Or take my place. His eyes darted back to the painting. And there, where the man once stood, was himself. His own face. His own clothes. He was in the portrait now. His breath quickened. He grabbed the doorknob, twisting desperately. Locked. The whisper returned, now inside his head. One must stay. So the other may leave. Ethan's mind raced. Was that how his uncle disappeared? Was he the last one to take the deal? Then, the reflection moved. It stepped forward, out of the mirror. It looked exactly like him. Same face. Same clothes. Same terrified expression. Except for one thing. Its eyes were completely black.
Your turn, Ethan. 2:15 a.m., the final scream. He had to break the curse.
His eyes darted to the letter. There had to be a way.
He grabbed it, rereading the words.
It watches. It waits. Do not what?
His reflection grinned wider. Then, Ethan realized.
The only way to stop the cycle was to destroy the portrait. Without thinking, he grabbed the heavy candle holder from the nightstand and hurled it at the painting. Glass shattered. The frame collapsed.
The eerie whisper turned into a deafening shriek.
The house shook violently.
Ethan braced himself as the mirror cracked, then exploded into shards.
And then, silence.
3 a.m., the aftermath. The next thing Ethan knew, he was lying on the dusty floor.
The room was still. The air felt
lighter. The painting?
Gone.
The mirror?
Shattered.
And the whisper?
Nowhere to be heard. Ethan stumbled out of the house, never looking back. As he reached his car, one final thought chilled him to the bone.
What if someone else finds the next portrait? The moral of the story: some mysteries are better left unsolved.
Some doors should never be opened.
And above all, curiosity can come at a terrible price.
Not everything lost should be found.
Welcome to StorySpree Studios once again.
Do like, share and subscribe.
Don't forget to press the bell icon so you will never miss an update.
Your support means a lot. Have a good day.
Smile.